That it is. I'm Steve Wyatt, and I want to welcome you to the Wyatt Matters Show, where we serve up faith with a side of funny. And trust me, we do not skimp on our sides. I am your host, and on today's menu, we're going to talk about Florida man who is equal parts daredevil, dimwit, and discount superhero who can turn every news cycle into his own personal blooper reel. And then, if you dads think pulling off a wedding is getting way too expensive, have we got a solution for you? Helping me unpack all this mess is Kimberly Herman.
Hello, everybody.
Todd Bussey.
Hi, Steve. Kim. Kimberly.
Kimberly.
Did we wake you up, Todd, or what? Jeremy.
Well, you caught me off guard.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Steve.
All right, and we've got Jimmy also, our producer. We're glad to have you, and we're going to get to all of this stuff, plus words of wisdom from the great philosopher Teddy Bridgewater. Who's that? Yeah, we'll get there, because what Teddy had to say, it matters, and we want to tell you why it matters. You get it? Well, grab your headphones and turn up the volume. Let's get this laughter started. Oh, look at that. Well, it is hard to believe, but this show is the final show in season 1 of the Wyatt Matters Show. And when we launched, we were troubled because a whole lot of people were tuning out on faith stuff. Not so much on Jesus, but on the tired way that Jesus is so often presented. So we decided to crank up the humor and turn down the stuffy by building a show that, talks truth, but we do it with a smile. 1 year later, we're in 17 markets, about 1 million set of ears, and growing faster than a Florida gator in a buffet line. Oh, and speaking of Florida, have you heard about the Florida man? If not, you're about to. See, our team, we spend hours every week in search of the most bizarre, stupid, and laugh out loud funny things that people do. And this week, we landed on Florida man. And since, ladies and gentlemen, we have our very own Florida man on the show, Todd, what is a Florida man?
Okay, on behalf of my people, I just want to say that Floridians are not weirder than the rest of the nation. That's not it. It's just that we've got these sunshine laws. Do you know what that is, Jeremy?
No, what is that?
What is that?
Yeah, so every time somebody gets arrested, it's a matter of public record. And because, so we do have heat and alcohol. We got like a whole bunch of alligators. So people are going to act weird, and you're going to know all about it. So I don't know how else to say this, Steve, but like Florida's America's blooper reel, and we just kind of keep the tape rolling 24/7.
Do you have any examples of that?
Oh, I got plenty of them. The world does. Have you heard of the phenomenon called the Florida man?
Yes.
Yes.
Have you heard about it? No?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. It's just outrageous, bizarre stunts. And you see all these headlines. Florida man accused of throwing an alligator through a drive-through window.
Love it.
Florida man tapes a pool noodle and skateboards to an alligator and takes a ride down I-95.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
think I sense a trend here.
Well, yeah, we certainly love our alligators.
So when I saw that we were doing this little bit, I did a little research on my own.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. And you know what I found out, you guys? Florida man now has his own Olympic-styled events.
Well,
Really?
of course.
Yes. It takes place in St. Augustine with such
That's where I'm at.
Is it really? That's the time
Yeah.
you're... Oh.
Yeah. Wow, looking around.
All right. Well, you're going to have something to do because they have events like the evading arrest obstacle course.
Wow.
The Beer Belly Florida Sumo.
I love that one.
And my favorite, get this, a catalytic converter, 2 bikes, and a handful of copper pipe.
What's that all about?
Copper.
Oh my
Get that to the pawn
goodness.
shop before
Oh,
the cops
my-
catch them.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
so organizers of the event had to cut out the drugs and nudity event. Sorry, Todd, because they couldn't get a permit.
Oh, man.
So next year's games are in February. So get your tickets. Okay. And Todd, start growing your hair out because the newest entry in these games is the mullet contest.
Yes.
Well, then I'm officially out.
my-
Okay.
I know. I'm with you, Jeremy. My mullet days are gone. But really what's put the Florida Man on the map is this game. I don't know if you've tried it or not, Steve, but like you type your birth date into Google and then you follow it with the words Florida Man. And then you just see what kind of bizarre headlines pop up.
Oh, gosh.
And you want to get some great laughs with some friends, give that a shot.
Well, I didn't type in my birth date, but I did a little of my own research and
You did.
came across some really good winners here. So I'm going to read and you react, all right?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Florida man wears a blank the police t-shirt to court
Oh, my.
Oh, wow.
and he wins his case.
What?
Wow.
I wonder what he
Bold.
wears on Mother's Day.
Here's another one. Florida man charged with assault with a deadly weapon after throwing an alligator through a drive-through window.
Oh, my gosh. I can't even. Why is everybody from Florida riding in their cars with gators? Seriously.
Hey, who
doing all
ordered the
kinds of
Coca-Cola?
Okay, Florida gun owners plan to shoot down Hurricane Irma.
Oh.
Shoot on the eye, Clem. Throw a gator at him. That'll work. That's for everything else.
All right, that one's not so funny as stupid, I guess. Okay,
Well,
Florida man breaks into jail to hang out with his friends.
Oh, my goodness. I call that commitment. Then again, could this be the solution to the Florida man epidemic? They just put themselves in jail.
That
Circles
reminds
are
me
better
of
than
an
iron
episode
bars.
on the
Yeah.
ranch, man. That's crazy stuff.
Crazy.
All right. I think this might be the last. No, I got another one. Florida
Oh,
man
please.
denies drinking and driving, claims he only chugged his bourbon at red lights.
Okay.
It's
Now,
a
see,
technicality.
that sounds very responsible to me.
You would say that, Florida man.
All right, here's the last one. And in the interest of gender fairness, this is about Florida woman.
Okay.
Florida woman marries a tree to protest real estate developers.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Sounds like a grounded relationship. I bet she never leaves.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, all right, I gotta break in. I gotta say, all these Florida man things got my dad memes running all on.
That's what I was thinking. It sounds like dad jokes coming up.
Yeah,
So-
it's blending of two favorite things.
As funny as those examples are, I think it's a reminder of how easily life can spiral out of control if we don't operate with good judgment,
Oh,
right? Maybe the real Florida man lesson is that we are all just one stupid decision away from making our own headlines.
ain't that the truth?
Yes, which is why we all need some guardrails. My 2 cents.
Absolutely. And, you know, she just put a hole in all the laughter.
Sorry.
Say, we're not gonna go there. Is there any redeeming value in this hot take? I mean, I love your heart, Kimberly. But I don't
All
know.
right, we are 1 year in, folks, and we're excited, super excited to begin year 2, because we've learned over the last year that laughter really does heal. The Bible said it, and we've experienced it. And Florida just happens to be the happy gift that keeps on giving. Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Gators. Thank you, Florida man. We'll be right
On
back.
behalf of all of us.
Oh, we
You're
won't
welcome.
be right back. I messed up. Put me down as Florida man.
We still got 2 minutes of the segment,
We
Steve.
we do.
Phoenix man messes up Florida man.
I bet I made Jeremy's heart jump. Okay, let's jump into this. A recent survey found that 2/3 of Americans would let a corporate sponsor help pay for their wedding. What could possibly go wrong? And I get it. The average wedding tab is now $35,000, and that's for us peasants. Prince William and Kate's wedding, a cool $50 million. But that's a pittance compared to a Russian couple. That bride's daddy recently dropped a cool $1 billion.
What?
No.
Oh my gosh.
But hey, coming back down to our level, who wants to sink nearly a year's salary on just one day? Especially when the cake tastes like drywall. So,
yeah, for
let's get a sponsor. And instead of Dearly Beloved, it's Today's Wedding brought to you by Miller Lite with a third less vows than your regular wedding. Or instead of I do, the couple could say, Just Do It. Sponsored by Nike.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, all kinds of possibilities there.
So it's already happening, Wyatt. Seriously, have you heard about the Hellmann's wedding?
No.
Okay, so evidently those Mayo moguls got tired of taking a backseat to ham and Swiss. So they came up with a challenge, and the grand prize was a fully funded Sin City shindig, complete with a mayonnaise jar-shaped cake, bomber jackets embroidered with hell yeah, and vows exchanged under a 4-foot chicken tender.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
I tell you what, as a father of brides, I still like this idea. I think this is really good. I think the one most in favor has to be the father of the bride. How about you, Todd?
Oh man, listen, as a foodie, I could get all in. If you get Olive Garden to pick up the catering for my daughter's wedding in exchange for unlimited breadsticks at the reception, you trust me, I'm not gonna say no to that.
Nice.
Or okay, I would even bring in Jesus chicken. How about Chick-fil-A?
Okay.
I mean, how awesome would that be?
All right. Well, thank
I mean, as
you.
long as the
He's
wedding-
just made us
as long as the
all
wedding isn't on
hungry.
Sunday,
We'll be
right?
right back. Welcome back. We've been talking about a recent survey that said that 60% of Americans would be open to branding their wedding. And there's some crazy stuff in this survey. For example, 20% of respondents said they would be open to putting a brand on the wedding dress.
Oh, my.
Men, more open than women. There's a shock. But let's say the brand is on the bride's back, or worse, her backside. Any ideas, Todd?
My mind is going immediately dark.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
I'm thinking like, what about Ozempic with the tag like he's worth a shot?
Oh, goodness.
Okay. How about Krispy Kreme? Sure, I'm hot now, but give me time.
Oh, even more people were down for putting logos on everything from invitations to signage to product giveaways. Anybody have a bright idea for that kind of product placement?
Oh, my goodness. You know, I think the wedding limo is a great opportunity because it could be sponsored by AAA with this tagline. Okay, hear me out, especially as a Christian counselor. We'll pick you up when things break down.
There you go.
Right?
What's that Christian
Put that on your
counselor?
website,
Yeah.
Kimberly.
Wait a second.
Kimberly. So, I'm just thinking about the entire car. Like, just do it up like NASCAR. You know, put everything on there. And,
I love it.
Like the hood could be Allstate and a jacket for the groom that reads something like for Mayhem, like me. But, you know, I don't know. I think on the back there probably something along the lines of Gas X. She'll thank you later.
Okay.
Or Pepsi for when you
Yeah.
want a Coke, but life said close enough.
Febreze, because forgiveness sometimes just means masking the smell.
All right.
theme going.
That
I
is
got a theme
wonderful.
going.
Okay, last one. If a company covered the whole shebang, 20% of those taking the survey said they would be okay, get this, having the brand mascot officiate their ceremony. So I got to ask, Kimberly, Which mascot would you choose?
Ronald McDonald, of course.
Why?
Because you could take the ring and hide it in a Happy Meal.
Oh,
I thought it was just a
let's have
clown
fun
wearing
with
another
this.
clown.
brilliant. Todd, how about you?
Oh, listen, I got to go with my heart on this one. I'm going to go with Colonel Sanders.
Why?
Why?
I just love to hear him say, "This marriage is finger looking good." I don't know. That's
How
like the
about you,
Colonel.
Jeremy?
All right, I have one. I want Chuck E. Cheese because he comes with the band. I get 2 for 1. I got everything then. Here we go.
I think that's the winner.
Smart guy.
That is good
I
stuff.
like that.
Oh, all right.
But if it's like our Chuck E. Cheese, it breaks down about every
the
10
pizza,
minutes.
we
So you get
won't
what you
have.
pay for.
All right, we've had our fun, but I think that we would all agree. Sorry to be the downer here. That branding your wedding, it's turning what is supposed to be a sacred union into a pop-up shop, and marriage really is sacred. The Apostle Paul called marriage a profound mystery. And it's because marriage is a picture of the relationship between Christ and the church. That picture spans the whole Bible. In the Old Testament, it's God and Israel. In the New Testament, it's Jesus and the church. We are God's bride. It's not a metaphor. It is, according to Revelation, at the end of all time, there's going to be a wedding that will put that Russian wedding to shame. It's called the marriage supper of the Lamb. And at that feast, our husband Jesus, he is going to finally and forever unite with us, and we are going to fall into his arms and be with him forever. And when that mystery is not acknowledged at your wedding, what you have may be a union, but what it's not is a marriage. And that's why years ago when people started getting married on golf courses and in hotel ballrooms, I admit it, I started swallowing hard. And Todd, you probably felt the same way.
Boy, I absolutely did. And it's a struggle to want to be there and honor people on their special days. And at the same time, make sure they understand why the day is special. Yeah, I performed so many weddings. By the time I did my own wedding, I think I learned a lot of important lessons. And one of those is like, it isn't about the wedding day, it's about the marriage. It's not the one day, but trying to make a lifetime work together, which really can be more doable than trying to get the seating arrangement for that day. You know, you got more time to work that out. And I totally agree with that idea that marriage isn't just sort of mythical nirvana. I mean, it's understanding how God loves us, and the best way to do that is learning how to love others. That makes sense.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I guess it really doesn't matter where you get married, or even what branding, if any, you put on your dress. The question that matters is, have you invited Jesus into your marriage?
Yeah.
You know what else doesn't matter? Whether mistakes are made. Every bride wants her marriage to be perfect, but no wedding ever is. I used to tell couples at wedding rehearsals, hey, pulling off the wedding, that's the easy part. It's the happily ever after part that's hard.
And not just hard, Wyatt, it's impossible. As all of us married folk can attest to, just like you won't have a perfect wedding, you're not going to have a perfect marriage either. And I think we all need to remember that. At our weddings, we stand in front of our family and friends and make these wild promises to each other, some knowing all too well that they can't keep those promises. And others are too love blind to realize it's really hard to always walk in love and grace with their spouse.
Yeah. Yep, that's right. Todd, you have a point?
Other than, it's a tremendous risk. And I know we sound like maybe we're putting a pretty heavy challenge on there, but you're jumping into something that's pretty remarkable. It's pretty amazing. And at the end of the day, I would say just good for you. Good for you for taking a chance, for stepping out there, for making statements of declaration before that person you're going to spend the rest of your life with, before their family,
And I
or
think
your best friends.
one point I want to make before we get to the end of the break is at least a couple is getting married. A lot of young adults have stopped altogether.
Yeah.
And so kudos to you who are at least trying. I think maybe the biggest danger in branding a wedding is you get a dream marriage, maybe you will expect a dream, or a dream wedding, maybe you'll expect a dream marriage, but neither
Yeah.
exists. A wedding ceremony is about two people standing in the presence of God and making promises to love each other just as Jesus loves the church. And I got to tell you, to be a part of something like that is worth every risk it takes. We'll be right back. Back in 2013, Teddy Bridgewater was quarterback for the University of Louisville and a leading candidate for the Heisman Trophy. During his incredible season, he completed over 300 passes and nearly 4,000 yards. But it's not what Teddy did on the field that caught my attention. It's something Teddy said right after Louisville trounced Ohio University. Now, hang on, don't get silly. It wasn't the Ohio State
Okay.
University,
Yeah, okay.
just
I,
Ohio
catch my breath.
University. Big difference. And yet, still, Teddy and the Cardinals beat Rufus and the Bobcats by a score of 49-7. After the game, here's what Teddy had to say about the win, and this is what caught my eye. He said, "It does give us a ton of momentum, but it's just a crumb of what we're trying to accomplish." And I got it. And I'm with you, Teddy. One win does not a championship make. But then he lost me when he said this: "We are crumb hunting." At least that's what we call it. We say crumb because crumbs keep you hungry, but they also keep you humble. And when I heard that, honestly, I had no clue what he was trying to say. Because if you're trying to win football games or whatever you're hoping to achieve, you're not going to win for long if crumbs is all you're feeding on. If you're just hunting after and hoarding up little morsels or gathering and storing measly little scraps, you're going to stay hungry, all right, maybe even malnourished. No, there's got to be more, Teddy, than crumb hunting. Because if you're only feasting on itty-bitty little food fragments, eventually your beefiest linemen, they're going to pass out on you. There's got to be something more, something greater than just hunting crumbs. Now, on one hand, I do get it. Maintaining the mental discipline so that you see today's victory as just scraps compared to the feast you can enjoy if you win the big trophy. You're right. Seeing that could keep a guy humble. But if all you're doing is hoarding crumbs without that ultimate goal in mind, that'll just make you hangry. So hangry that you just want to go out and hurt somebody. I don't know, but even though I couldn't make much sense from what Teddy said, I still couldn't get the idea of crumb hunting out of my mind. It was kind of like, I don't know, maybe I'd heard that line before, and I had. Well, kinda, sorta, kinda, sorta. See, there was another high-flying superstar who lived a long time before Teddy came along. His name was Solomon. King Solomon, which pretty much tells you Solomon didn't just hunt for crumbs. He had all the crumbs he could ever desire and so much more. We're talking riches and power and fame and unlimited pleasure. Whatever his little old heart could want, he had. And yet, do you know what Solomon decided he was always going to do with his life? Something we should also do, even though it runs counter to the thinking that so dominates our day. Solomon said, "Sorry, Teddy, I don't hunt for crumbs. I cast those crumbs instead." In fact, here is his advice, verbatim. "Cast your bread, your crumbs, upon the waters, and after many days you will find them again." In other words, step out of your comfort zone. Don't seek a predictable, boring little life. Take a risk, because the greatest hazard in life is not to risk and lose. It's to never risk at all. So stop putting off an experience till you can afford it, or the moment until it's perfect, or until you know exactly how everything's going to turn out. Don't be stupid about it, but once you know that what you'd like to do is the right thing for you, do it. How tragic it is when you and I postpone some exciting adventure or shelve some great new plan simply because there's some risk involved. A risk is any action that exposes you to the possibility of loss or injury. And it's true. If you take a risk, you could lose money, you could lose face, you might even lose your health or your life. But I think Solomon is saying, go ahead and take the risk anyway, because the greatest hazard in life is not to risk and lose, but to never risk anything at all. Because the person who risks nothing, does nothing, has nothing, and is nothing. He may avoid suffering and sorrow, but what he will never fully do is learn, grow, feel, love, and most of all, live. So the point is, take the risk. Don't run from it. You'll waste your life if you do that. My goal today is to infuse you with the courage that you will live every second that God gives you. And we're going to talk more about that when we come back after the break. The older I get, and I am really old, the more I've asked God to protect me from a sheltered, safe existence. Because I want to live my life, all the days of my life, and not just some of them. I want to expect the unexpected, reach the unreachable. I want to stretch and strive and strain and sweat. And then when God wants to take me home, I want to die with my boots on. But it's not just me. Solomon, who tapped into a wisdom that no one besides Jesus has ever known, he had a similar piece of advice we talked about in the previous break. He said, cast your bread upon the waters, for after many days you will find it again. His advice is basically, don't hedge your bets. Whatever else you may do with your life, whatever opportunities lie ahead of you, don't play it safe. No matter what stage of life you're in, whether you're just starting out, navigating a career, raising a family, prepping for retirement, or living the dream, there's always that temptation to think, oh, no, that's too risky. But clinging to caution, that's not living. That's just existing. The phrase cast your bread is actually a business term. It referred to sending grain in huge cargo ships. And back then, they didn't have Amazon Prime, so, they weren't getting it back the next day. They might have to wait as long as 9 months before they saw a return on their investment. But Solomon says, send it out anyway. Take the risk. Don't put your bread in the deep freeze and let it dry out, or store it in the pantry till it grows mold. Spread those crumbs around. A rookie pitcher was facing the great Stan Musial. The catcher signaled for a slider. Pitcher shook him off. Called for a curve. Again, shook him off. Fastball changeup. Same response. So the catcher walked out to the mound and he said, kid, you've shaken off every pitch you have. What are you doing? The kid said, I'm just trying to hold on to the ball as long as I can. In sports, they call that playing not to lose. And you know what happens when an athlete plays not to lose? The golfer hits his putt too softly, and the ball stops 2 inches short of the cup. The tennis player serves too gently and plink, right in the net. The skier leans back on his skis, afraid he's going to fall, and his skis jet out from beneath him, and he does fall. In business, they call it the paralysis of analysis. You're not sure what to do. You're hesitant to make the call, so what do? You schedule another meeting, form a committee, maybe write a memo. What you don't do is make a decision. Is that you? Do you live protected? When you're tempted to do something out of the box, do you ultimately pull back because, I don't know, what will people think? There was a time when you didn't hold on to the ball. You didn't fight change, you embraced change. You charged through life like the Tasmanian devil, darting and dodging and climbing and crawling and stamping and stomping your way toward whatever dream was in your sights. So what happened to you? I get it. There's a level of risk that is unacceptable, but most of us live so far below that it's not even worth bringing up. Solomon didn't. He said without qualification, cast your bread. But that's not all he said. In the same sentence, he said, cast your bread upon the waters, for, and here's the promise, after many days, you will find it again. So go for it. Don't hoard your bread, cast it. And when you do, God will reward the risk with a payback equal to, and in some cases greater than, the risk you took. Kind of sounds like something Jesus would say, doesn't it? Well, he did. He said, with the measure you use, it will be measured to you, and even more. He also said this, whoever tries to keep his life will lose it. Whoever loses his life will preserve it. That's from Jesus. And yet how easy it is to allow some well-intentioned but overly cautious helper to splash cold water over all your dreams. As soon as somebody says, better be careful, they're saying a recession could be just around the corner, as soon as those words pop out of somebody's mouth, all thinking stops. Doors slam shut. Projects are abandoned. Hopes are forever dashed. And what might have been will never be. But taking risk, it's not just about being successful. When Jesus gave his challenge, he was calling us to do something with our lives that matters. And the danger, if you don't do that, you try to keep your life, but you will lose it. Besides, how much news can one person watch? Or Call of Duty can one Gen Z play? How many rounds of golf can a boomer play? Or cooking classes, or pickleball? Now, I'm not anti-fun, not in the least. I can shank that pimply white ball just as badly as the next guy. All I'm saying is don't waste your life in search of comfort. And instead, why not sell off some of your security and go do something significant? Or, I know, go tell your pastor you want to give him your Thursdays. No golf, nothing else on Thursday. Thursday belongs to Jesus. That's a way you could save your life. Now, the pastor might lose his with a stroke, heart attack, so go slow with him, all right? But you've spent your whole life building this amazing skill set, and it has brought you great success. You think maybe it's time to do something significant? What if you hearing this message is not an accident? What if God brought you to this very moment because he's been prepping you, getting you ready, and this is your time? Could it be that you're standing on the edge of what could be the consequential thing, the most consequential thing you have ever done? My question is, you going to cast the bread? Or are you going to choose the well-worn path of caution and comfort? Jesus was right. The greatest hazard in life is not to risk and lose, but to never risk at all. Yeah, if you choose the path of comfort, you probably will avoid some short-term pain, but what you will never know is what Coach Lombardi called man's finest hour. That moment, he said, when you have worked your heart out in a good cause and lie exhausted on the field of battle, victorious. Could it be that casting crumbs is what God is wanting from you? And that instead of hunting for and then hoarding up all your crumbs, he wants you to cast them instead? Well, then do it. Just do it. Wayne Gretzky famously said, you miss 100% of the shots you never take. So take the shot. Stop sitting on your thumbs waiting for that mythical perfect moment when Success is guaranteed, and then and only then will you take the shot. No, take it now. Taking risks adds jet fuel to your spirit. It sparks creativity and opens even more doors of opportunity. Besides, here's what I've discovered. The biggest risk of life is when you let your fear keep you from living a life that matters. Well, maybe not the biggest risk, the greatest threat in taking risks with your life. The greatest threat in not taking risks with your life is this. You might end up dying way earlier than you really do die. I want you to imagine that. Just imagine dying a death after which you keep on living for many years. To me, that would be awful. I don't want to be a dead man walking. Do you? No, I want to live my life. I want to live all the days of my life, not just some of them, not even most of them. I want to live all of my life. How about you?
Good.
I love that. So I love your enthusiasm, Wyatt, to live and not just exist, because so many people are afraid of risk and look at risk as too scary rather than an opportunity to grow. And most people just feel like it's safer. And most people like to be in control of their own outcomes, right? And depending on the situation, are also people pleasers and terrified of judgment. So I love that you're just saying, let's throw that all away. Let's put that all away because you want to live life. So I want to just jump on that bandwagon of just take the shot. Like you said, just take it, just do it, live life. What about you, Todd?
That's good. Yeah, that sort of challenge is really near to my heart. I don't know how many people know much about me, but I spend most of my days encouraging people to go after that Holy Spirit nudge and to cast that bread. And it's just so rewarding. I can't even begin to share that. I mean, just this past week, I met with two guys who came back from Panama out of their own initiative. They built a 280-foot suspension bridge, figured out how to do all of that just so that some school kids could cross over to their school and not risk getting swept away in the streams through the floodwaters. I mean, they just decided to step out and to do that. I met earlier this week with 4 people working together to pursue a dream of planting 1,700 churches, to do that within 10 years. And I got to tell you, they're so determined. I think they're going to do it. And later this afternoon, I have a young lady who's setting aside a potentially lucrative career path to consider what it'd look like to serve overseas. Now, that one's tough, because the others are contributing out of some sort of abundance, but this woman is going to put it all out there. And I asked her, how she knew it was time for her to jump and why. And she said that her yes had become bigger than her no.
That's good.
And I thought that's what I really noticed about the really great things. It always involves risk, and the opportunity for something really great becomes more compelling than the risk it involves. And that's why it comes back to that. I don't want to die way before I don't want to stop living before I die. What you said, I thought that was really very, very powerful.
Yeah.
I think it doesn't even have to be the big story, the larger than life illustration.
Not at all.
It can be, just what God has laid on your heart, just to do something that helps. In my own life, I have every reason not to be doing what I'm doing right now. I'm a transplant recipient. I'm retired twice and back at it again. And yet, in some ways, I might be doing the biggest thing of my life right now. And it's all because having listened and said yes, here I am, not getting any better at golf, but, living a big life.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I was going to try to squeeze that in on the back half here, because this is the 52 52nd episode of our show, right? We've been at it for a year. And I'm thinking a little bit more than a year ago, you have a longtime friend reach out and he says, let's try something different. Take a leap on a show that would make people laugh. At the same time, think about the spiritual dimension of life as well as the physical one. I couldn't have dreamed a year later that message would land on more than 1 million listeners.
Come on now,
And here
be
we are.
honest. You didn't think we'd last either.
No, I didn't. No, honestly, I said, I love you, Steve. If you want to go, I will follow. And I've followed you through some other crazy things before. So, but I do. I want to say thanks, Steve. And I want to thank you for taking the leap and letting us come and join with you on that. It's been very, very rewarding.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
We've had a great army. Everyone on this team, you do it because you love it. You love the fact that God is using you. Let me say something just before we leave. Todd mentioned, the fact that we've been at it for a year, and we're grateful for that. And we can't be any more grateful than we are to Y-Refi for being behind us and believing in us. And I just want to say, if you are under a heavy load of private student loan debt, or if you have someone you love who is, please give Y-Refi a call. Go to the website, check us out. It's an amazing, amazing solution to your story. And with that, we will be back next week for Season 2 of the Wyatt Matters Show.
Yay. Awesome.
Sponsored by Papa John's.